I'm Christine Dean, and this is Live from Studio A. And joining us today, I'm very happy to welcome to our studios Douglas Wood, who is known for many things. Doug, you really are a Renaissance man, a Minnesota Renaissance man. You're known for your writings. You wrote the book Old Turtle and many other books as well. You're a naturalist. You have led trips. So welcome. Really excited to have you here. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Christine.
And among all of those things, you also are a musician, and that was an early thing that you did. And you are doing a concert tonight at the Encore Performing Arts Center County Seat Theater in Cloquet. That starts at 7 p.m. And you have your longtime friend Steve Borgstrom here with you.
I do, yes.
And what would the two of you like to start with here?
Well, let's start with a song.
That's a great idea.
And this is a song about wild places and wild things. It's called In Our Hands. Well, a song that I wrote. There's a place where the sweet winds blow, where the bright streams sing, and a hawk takes wing, and the green woods they still grow. And there's a world where everything's connected deep inside. The bobcat and the bear, the eagle and the hare, from the mountain to the endless rolling tide. And maybe we belong there too. Maybe we're not far away at all. Maybe we're as near as a wild thing in our hand, the broken wing, the broken spirit that we met. And there's a dream that calls us from the vast and the jeweled night, down a dim and misty trail, through forest, field, and vale, that leads us to the sunrise and the light. And there's a door to a hidden world of mystery and grace. And wildness holds the key that's there for you and me, to find life and be a part of its embrace. And maybe we belong there too. Maybe we're not far away at all. Maybe we're as near as a wild thing in our hand, a broken wing, a broken spirit that we met. Hooves upon the prairie, wings upon the air, a great and living circle, a holy place we share, a flash upon the water, a rustling in the woods, and an ancient voice that whispers, it is good. There's a time to hold what we know is right and true, that every life is real, and we either hurt or heal, and we choose just who we are by what we do. And maybe we belong here now. Maybe we're not far away at all. Maybe we're as near as a wild thing in our hand, a broken wing, a broken spirit that we met. Yes, maybe we belong there too. Maybe we're not far away at all. Maybe we're as near as a wild thing in our hand, a broken wing, a broken spirit that we met. Our own wings, our own spirits, that we met.
That was Douglas Wood live from Studio A. Well, thank you so much, Doug, for joining us today. And that was an original song. How long has that one been around?
10 years or so. I don't. I lose track.
Well,
you can ask me word questions, and I can answer word questions, but number questions,
All right. Well, good to know. And so I have the advantage because you you chatted with my coworker Luke earlier this week, so I
Right.
learned a little bit from that interview. I think you talked about where that guitar. You have a beautiful 12-string guitar, and that has been with you for a long time. Is that right?
even longer than Steve, which is hard to believe. It's
And
very
Steve has
true.
been with you for a long time.
I think it's like 10 years, but he tells me it's more like 46 years or something. So.
Well, it's a number question.
It's a
so-
number. Doesn't mean anything. So this guitar, when I was a teenager, my best friend Dean had a guitar or two and was learning to play, and I'd love to go over to Dean's house and try to play his guitar, and he'd show me a few things, but I didn't have a guitar. And I got to be, and the Beatles were out, and we all wanted to learn all the Beatles songs, and so I'd go to Dean's house, and my dad wouldn't let me have any Beatles records. So anyway, I got to be the age for high school graduation, and my dad, who was not real big on gifts, asked me if I would like anything special for a graduation present, and I said I would really like a 12-string guitar. I didn't even have a 6-string guitar, but I just was in love with the sound of 12-string guitars. So my dad took me downtown Sioux City, Iowa, to Wall Violin Shop, and on the wall of the Wall Violin Shop was hanging this beautiful Guild 12-string guitar. So my dad gave it to me. I was 17 years old, and started playing this many years before I even tried a 6-string. So it's kind of my baby.
And what drew you to the 12-string right away? Were there particular,
Well, that's a good question.
Was there music that was out there that caught your ear?
Well, yeah, there were people playing. The Byrds
right?
were
Yeah,
playing,
they were
turn,
known
turn,
for that. Yeah,
and
beautiful
12-string
sound.
guitar. And John Dender, a year or two later, is playing a 12-string guitar. Glenn Campbell had a TV show. He played the 12-string guitar a lot. Something about it. And I still love it. It's a very different sound. I love to play my Taylor 6-string, but this is my special guitar.
Nice. I want to go back to when you said your dad wouldn't let you have Beatles records
Or any pop rock music
Now,
records.
both of your parents were musical, right? And what did your dad do?
He taught. He's PhD in choral music. So he was the choir director at Morningside College in Sioux City, Iowa. And my mother was a professional pianist and piano teacher. So the house was full of classical music all the time. And I was forced to take violin lessons when I was a kid, and piano lessons, and anything that required practice, I hated. So I didn't like practicing. So when I got my 12-string, what did I do? I played 10 or 12 hours a day, because that wasn't practicing. That was doing something that I chose to do. But I didn't like playing the violin, so I quit my violin major after a couple of years and majored in music education. And I just taught myself how to play all the things that I wanted to play, which is 12-string and 6-string and dobro and banjo and mandolin.
So just by ear. Wow, that's great. Well, and I think everybody has a different path with that.
Oh, absolutely.
With learning music,
Yeah.
for some people it's instinctual. For some people, they need kind of that that structure of
Yeah.
reading the notes and all of those
I had these
things.
wonderful advantages of growing up in a musical house, which I totally took for granted. And then years later began to realize how lucky I was. And I married a musician, and Kathy is a wonderful pianist and musician, and she reads beautifully. I discovered many years later that my trouble with practicing and reading music was I have not only ADHD but dyslexia. So all those notes on the page were just torture for me, even though my teachers kept telling me how musical I was. I just had an awful time learning music off a page. So when I got to be free and play my own instruments and learn in my own way, then things started going better.
But no pop music in your house.
Nope. Not allowed,
I love that. But you found it other places, as most kids do.
as we do. Yes.
Well, and the music that you play. So you did start out early, and I want to mention that I did. One of your memoirs was available online through the library, and so I started reading it. And so you and your wife met because of music. You were both in the
Yes.
same music
We
program,
both
right?
were singing in my dad's choir.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
And she was a soprano and I was a baritone.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't get to stand next to each other. But we both joined a folk music group together, or she joined first, and then I was invited later. And I had a terrible crush on her for many years, and she ignored me completely. That's a whole different story.
That's in the memoir. And
It's in the memoir.
I forget the name of the memoir. What's the name of the memoir?
A Wild Path.
A Wild Path. Yes. So,
But after 3
good
years, I
story.
finally worked up my courage, and that was helpful to actually tell her that I was interested in her, evidently.
That usually is a good first start.
I'm a slow learner.
And all these years later, however many, we're not going to do numbers, but still together.
Well,
So
that
that's
number,
wonderful.
I know, 52.
Oh my goodness, how wonderful!
Yeah.
So music was one of the early things that you did. Everything that you do is connected to nature. You know, that song that we just heard, very much based in nature. So your music, so you do all of these other things with writing and leading trips, which is very cool. But your music connects to nature as well. Would you say that pretty much all of your music is, has that connection?
Yeah. Steve here and I are 2/3 of a little group I call the Wild Spirit Band. And my son Brian is the third member, but Brian is so busy running a nature center and raising kids that he hasn't played with us for a while yet. So we're just wild and spirited today. We don't have the whole band here. But all the songs if we do a concert, if we do a full 2-hour concert, whatever, 20, 30 songs, they all have some connection to the natural world. And as far as my music and my book writing, I've written 40 books now, I think, something like that. It's a number, so who knows, something like that. And the music very much informs the book writing, which I didn't know. It was pointed out to me that the way that I write, both my children's books like Old Turtle and my adult books, are very musical. The sound of the words when you read them aloud is very lyrical. There's a rhythm to it, and all of that, I'm sure, comes back to being a musician. In fact, when I write a book, when I write an essay or whatever, I'm not done with it until I read it out loud and until I like the way that it sounds. Well, that's the musical training.
Mm-hmm. And I've heard or read somewhere that, there was a point when you had switched to doing more writing that you kind of were thinking about leaving the music behind, and then you figured out you can do it all.
I did leave it behind. Steve, no, it's a number, so he probably knows it better than me, but I put away my music for many years because so much of what we did in those days was being up at 1 or 2 in the morning, driving home from the Twin Cities, playing bars 5 nights, 6 nights a week. It really grinds you down. So by the time I had a book that came along and did really well, which was Old Turtle, I just decided, okay, now I'm an author. I don't have to do that anymore. And it was, 15, 16 years or more before somebody came and asked me to do a concert, and I kept saying no, and then I said, well, I'm not going to do it unless Steve comes with me. So we went and performed, and it was so much fun, and people loved it so much that I thought, well, I can do both, like you said. I can, instead of being an author that used to be a musician, I can be an author and a musician. So it's really fun now to play concerts like we're going to do tonight, to do my music as I always wanted to do it, not in bars, but in nice places. And I still have Steve playing with me, so it's great.
What and you tell stories while you're on stage, so you combine kind of that storyteller aspect with the music.
I do that too.
When you were out playing bars, what kind of music were you playing? Was it a similar?
Well, I
kind of thing?
snuck in as many of my originals as I could because that's what I am. I'm a songwriter, but not too many bars are going to hire you to play your own stuff 5 nights a week. So I played as much as I could of my own, and then I would do acoustic singer-songwriters of the era, Dan Fogelberg, Gordon Lightfoot, John Denver, Steve Goodman, all the people who were any good and whose songs I liked, and we'd do covers of them, and Steve would make them sound great by adding his wonderful guitar parts, and we did pretty good.
And you two, Steve was telling me you first met in St. Cloud at a music store. Is that right?
That is true. I will let him jump in here, but I was really struggling doing these bars by myself. It was lonesome. It was not what I wanted to be doing. I was low on sleep. I had stomach troubles because I was, driving at 3 a.m. every night. So I thought, well, it would be nice to not be alone every night. And then I walked into the music store, Al's Music, one day, and there was this college kid sitting on a stool playing guitar really well. And so, go ahead.
Well, I was tuning Al's Music's guitars, and you walked up behind me. you play really well. And I said, well, thank you very much. He said, you know, I'm recording some music. You want to record with me? And yeah, I want to record with you. I didn't know who he was, but I thought it was a good time to jump right in.
I don't think I asked you to. I think I said, "Do you want to play in the bars with me?"
Well, first we recorded.
Did we?
Yeah,
Okay.
we recorded Minnesota Mosquito, and then after that, in 1980, I bought a brand new guitar, this one right here, and basically we played bars then.
And I didn't have to play by myself anymore, and it helped a lot. Helped keep me sane.
And he's stuck around all these years.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your own life. You have other stuff that you do. But when there is a need for guitar, it sounds like Steve is
He's
ready
my
to
guy.
go.
He's on all my recordings and
And you
all
have
my,
a lot of recordings.
quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what would you like to play next for us?
Well, let's do something a little different. That was a nice slow ballad. We'll do another slow one, but it's not like that one. This is a blues tune from long ago, maybe the 1920s, and I forget whose song it is. I should know this. I'll know it by tonight when I introduce it. But let's do a little blues, and you don't jump in till I go all the way through. We're gonna set it up here nice and slow and easy. Did you ever wake up with them bullfrogs on your mind? Did you ever wake up with them bullfrogs on your mind? Gotta wake up laughing, laughing just to keep from crying. Did you ever wake up with that one woman on your mind? Did you ever wake up with that one woman on your mind? You gotta wake up laughing, laughing just to keep from crying. Take another one. Well, my brother got him, my sister got him, my pappy got him, my mama got him. I woke up this morning, my grandmama had him too. Well, you know what I'm talking about. We got them bullfrog blues. Well, did you ever wake up with them bullfrogs on your mind? Did you ever wake up with them bullfrogs on your mind? just to keep from crying.
That is Douglas Wood live from Studio A.
And in case you didn't guess, that's called the Bullfrog Blues.
The Bullfrog Blues. So we heard, one of your originals. We heard a little blues cover. And so when you do a concert, I guess you got to switch instruments, so I won't make that too difficult for you. How do you decide on what songs you're gonna do, what your repertoire is gonna be? And does he have favorites that are always in the mix?
This is a mysterious process that nobody knows but Doug. And I am ready for anything at any time. He's really, really good. I shouldn't admit to him that I think this, but he's really, really good at reading the room and picking the right tune at the right time. So I'm ready for anything. Most bands have set lists and playlists.
We don't do that.
So,
we don't do
so
that.
things
He's
could
good at
change
this.
at any minute.
Exactly.
I love that. That's great. Spontaneity is good. And I think in your interview with Luke earlier this week, you were talking about as soon as you started playing guitar, you started writing songs. Are any of those songs from way back then still with you?
Close to it. I started writing songs within a couple weeks or a month when I got my guitar. None of those are around anymore, but
Which is probably
some
for
of
the
the
best.
ones within the first year or two. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody, you have to start somewhere, but not everything you start with is always good. You got to kind of work up.
Yeah, we still do songs that I wrote 45 years ago. So.
And how have you changed as a songwriter in that time, and a writer? How have you changed?
Wow, that's a good question.
What have you learned from all of those years of?
I do not know how to answer that.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, you tell her.
Yeah, he's broadened his scope. He used to do kind of folky stuff, and it's all beautiful. But you've reached out. You do blues. You do a little bit of jazz. You've broadened your scope a bit.
Okay, that's a good answer. We'll go with that one.
It's good to have a Steve with
It is.
you.
Always good.
I feel like a mutual admiration society you have going here. You both really respect each other's talents and.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we
Not too much admiration. 'Cause we don't, careful how much praise I give him because it goes to his head so easily.
Okay. Yeah. So you do so many things. What are you focusing on right now, Doug? Do you have any projects in the works right now, whether it's musical
In the
or
last
writing?
couple of years, I've started. Well, I'm still guiding trips. I don't guide big 500-mile wilderness trips like I did at one time. But I do trips for people who are called Road Scholars, ROAD, not RHODE. And Road Scholars is an organization that takes people of a slightly older demographic on fantastic trips all around the world. They go to the Great Wall of China, they go to the Galapagos Islands, whatever. I take people to the North Woods, and we explore the North Shore here. We go up to Ely, we take a look at the edge of the Boundary Waters, go up to Voyageurs National Park. In the spring, I take people down to southeast Minnesota, and we check out the migrating birds and the wildflowers. So I do that. I also lead shorter duration, maybe weekend or 4-day wilderness retreats, where we focus on something called forest therapy, how to feel connected to things, how to calm yourself inside, how to be a little bit more present in the world, and writing workshops. So I do all those things, but I still keep doing the music, still keep writing books. My newest memoir, the one you mentioned, A Wild Path, just came out last year. So
Oh, okay. I didn't realize
thinking
it was
about
that
the next
recent.
one now, and just kind of keep all those things going.
Mm-hmm. And I really kind of admire how you found a way to use all of your skills and get to do the things that you love, being out in nature, and have it be something that you can do for a job as well, so that you're enjoying what you're doing and you're able to make a living. And
I'm really lucky. And,
Yeah.
and many years ago, we were sitting around a campfire, and a woman asked me a very interesting question. I think someone had asked me, what am I going to be doing next? And I started describing whatever it was, and someone said, well, that sounds like a project that has special meaning to you. And I, stupidly and flippantly said, well, of course it does. If it doesn't have special meaning to me, I don't do it. And then I thought, boy, that sounded really horrible. Sounded arrogant. So I thought about that a lot. And then I began to realize how lucky I was and am that I pretty much get to do things that are special to me.
Was that a struggle at times, though, to kind of find that path?
Oh, sure.
Because
yeah.
it's not always easy to
Not
be able
only
to just.
am I the CEO of my own life, I'm also the chief bottle washer and the janitor and all those things that go with it. Schlepping around my instruments and all kinds of stuff that isn't as much fun. But I still do have the joy of working on the next book and thinking about the next song or the next concert, and that is a joy.
And it sounds like you live in a beautiful place. You live right on the Mississippi, I think.
We live in a log cabin that
there?
was built in 1931, 100 feet from the Mississippi River, about 12 miles north of St. Cloud. And then for all your North Country listeners up here, we have what was my lifelong dream since I was a little boy. We have a place just a mile from Voyageurs National Park on an island, and that's our little getaway. That old cabin was built in 1925.
Well, and in your memoir, you talk about the first time that you went up there and just fell in love. I don't know how to pronounce the name of the lake.
Kabetogama.
Thank you.
Yes.
And just fell in love with that area. So from a young age, you really were drawn into even, you grew up in Iowa where there's some stuff going on and with nature, but not as much, I would assume.
Right. And all the time I was growing up in Iowa, I thought I was in the wrong place. I was in the wrong state. Something was wrong about this whole situation. My dad had actually grown up in Minnesota, and my mother's side of the family, her dad and my granddad, who I loved, they went to northern Minnesota every year for fishing vacations. So there was a Minnesota connection. I just didn't know about it until I was 7 years old and got to go to Kabetogama for the first time. And that I fell in love, and that's never changed.
Yeah. Well, how wonderful that you're able to spend time there and have your own place there. We have time for one more. What would you like to wrap up with?
Well, I grabbed my mandolin here, one of my mandolins, and we're going to, I thought I had a plan. We were going to do another original, but I changed my mind. We're going to do this song that people may recognize, probably will recognize, from the Ken Burns Civil War series. And it's actually called Ashokan Farewell.
That was Douglas Wood with Steve Borgstrom live from Studio A. Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah, good choice. Thank you so much. Really fun to talk to you. And again, they are playing tonight at the Encore Performing Arts Center, County Seat Theater in Cloquet. That show starts at 7 o'clock. Music, stories, anything else?
Might even read something from a book. Who knows?
That would be great. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks, Christine. Thanks for having us.
Today's Live from Studio A was produced by me, Christine Dean, and Paul Brown, and funding was provided by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. To listen to previous sessions, go to thenorth1033.org and click on music. This is Live from Studio A on the North 103.3. Thanks for listening.